everyone, and welcome back to Sailing Catalpa. Thank you so much for joining us. This week is a little bit hectic. We are in La Paz, Mexico. We're here for Carnaval, which is fun. Mori has a little bit of an accident. He was in the water and the current was racing. Been under the water for about 30 seconds, Lee said. Water is lungs and full of water. And we also go on a bit of a surf adventure, so stay tuned. Let's go get into the video. We're an Australian family that set off on an adventure of a lifetime. We hope these little videos make you smile and inspire you to chase your dreams. Subscribe to join us and our travels as we share our life on the sea. So we got into La Paz last night. We dropped the anchor just before the sun went down, but we had to drop the anchor like 3 times. We kept slipping, which is crazy because that really never happens to us, but it did. So we moved and we found a spot when we dropped anchor. Yeah, the anchor bit in straight away, so pretty happy with that. We are going ashore today and going to get some food. When we live on a boat, we have internet all the time thanks to Starlink, but when we go ashore, sometimes it can be an issue, especially if a couple of us go ashore and separate. Like, we don't have internet on our phones, so the solution for that we have is the sponsor of this video, and that is Olafly. Olafly is an eSIM brand that we use when we go ashore. Olafly is available in over 200 destinations, and the great thing about their plans is it's unlimited data. So instead of just getting 1 gig or a few gigs and running out while you're in town and not having internet, then it's super helpful being able to know that you will consistently have internet for the day or a few days or however long you choose your plan. It's super easy. So before I go ashore, while we have internet, I will hop on my laptop, go onto the website, pick the plan that is right for me and go through the steps. It's super simple. You get a QR code, you scan it on your phone, and then you are instantly connected. So if you too would like to stay connected when you are traveling, you can also use the coupon code Sailing Catalpa and you'll get a 5% discount. Okay, we've just come ashore because it's Taj's birthday. Well, not quite. It's Taj's birthday in Australia, so his actual birthday, and we're going to go to dinner tonight. So for Taj's birthday, to celebrate, we went out for dinner. Because we are anchored up outside of La Paz, we got to go and have a nice dinner out. Taj chose an Italian restaurant that serves pizza. Happy 20th birthday, Taj. I can't believe you're 20 years old. Time has flown by and we are so proud of you. Just keep being awesome, and I'm so stoked we get to travel together and love you. Mwah! Happy birthday!
Valentine's Day, and we had something really scary happen. Scary for Mori, I should say. We do monitor him pretty closely when we're sailing. He's always in a vest, always got a lead on, but at anchor we pretty much let him roam free around the boat. This time we had the generator running, and he has fascination with the exhaust pipe and the water that comes out the exhaust. We're assuming that he fell in reaching out for the exhaust water of the generator. I happened to be up on top of the deck and I seen Mori was sitting down on the duckboard, and he normally does, and then literally about 1 minute later I heard a little meow and I sort of looked down. He wasn't on the duckboard. I think it runs about 4.5 knots of current here when it's racing. Mori was like swept straight away from the boat, like pretty quickly. 4.5 knots doesn't sound like much, but when you actually hop in and start going away from the boat at 4.5 knots, it's quite quick. So I jumped in the tender. I was probably lucky I just didn't dive in and try and swim over to him because the current was so strong. By the time I actually got to him in the tender, just dropped down, and then I was like, oh, I was just like a couple of seconds too slow. And then he went underwater and then he popped up about 20 meters away. So I don't know if the turbulence grabbed him, pulled him and flicked him up. And I seen him, pulled him out of the water. I grabbed him, threw him in the tender, brought him back to the mothership. Sarah put him under the warm shower, tried to get a little bit of temperature back there with him, got a hot water bottle on him. Sarah called a vet, and we were sort of aware of this, but they definitely let us know that yes, there's a high risk of secondary drowning. Suggested if anything changed in his breathing and whatnot, bring him in. He's making some funny noises, so we're going to take him to the vet.
It's nighttime. Got a couple of towels on him and he's got a hot water bottle, so he's nice and warm. I did talk to a vet and they said if his breathing changes, bring him in, he might need oxygen. And he's breathing a little bit funny and we can hear some strange noises. So, no, send some love, some prayers, and we hope he's okay. But we'll go and take him to the vet now. He's a lot calmer than he was before. He was shaken up.
So they looked at his temperature, was the first thing, and he was definitely cold. His temperature was low, so they blew up a little mattress. So I wouldn't say blow up a mattress, it was like a little inflatable mattress that had hot air on it, and he sat on that the whole time he was there. Second, they put the oxygen on him, so Sarah held the oxygen.
He was trying to swim and then went under, but he never spat up anything. Okay.
And thirdly, yeah, he got shaved and then had the ultrasound to confirm that, yeah, he did have water on his lungs.
You see all these lights?
Yeah.
This is normally the locks must be like that,
Okay.
black.
Yeah.
But when we had water or some liquid in the locks,
Yeah.
we see a lot of lights like that. There's a zinc, or how do you say in English, signal, for he breathed some water.
What's the verdict, darling?
Oh, we don't know yet. He's got water, his lungs are full of water, so they can get it out. He's just gonna have to stay here tonight. He's just riding up to see how much it's gonna cost. Last time he stayed at the vet, it was only a couple of hours and he was so traumatized. It'll be okay.
Once we sort of established all that, we just had to sort out what the best sort of care was going to be for him. We both felt that him coming home, hanging on the boat with us where he'd feel comfortable as opposed to be stressed in the room by himself, sucking on oxygen all night long, might have been a bit more stressful than actually coming home. And
Morning, Mori. You're having glimpses of what happened yesterday? You're being very brave, sitting near the edge of the water. So we were at the vet with him last night until after midnight. He had a really low temperature, so we stayed there and he was in a heated blanket until his temperature came up and he was on oxygen. He's doing a lot better this morning. He was pretty quiet. Had a little bit of, it was struggling to breathe a little bit, so obviously his lungs are full of water, but he slept pretty good last night and he's got some medicine to take. How you feeling? No swimming today, okay? So he didn't fall off here. He was on the duck board yesterday and that's where we think he fell from. He was we actually had the generator going and the exhaust was on. He was like I was watching him for ages and he was down there and he was trying to touch the water coming out of the exhaust. Careful, Mori. But then he kind of settled and he wasn't doing it and we brought him back up. And we think he got down there by himself. Well, he did get down there by himself because Lee saw him down there and Lee was on the deck. Thank goodness, because he must have fallen in. And if it was like this, it probably would have been fine. But the current was racing. And anyway, it was a little bit scary last night because the vet said he had 50-50 chance. And it was a little bit upsetting. But anyway, we decided to bring him home. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning. I think it's time I jump in for a swim. Not you, Mori. What do you got there, honey? A sausage roll? A sausage Mori.
We're calling him the sausage now. We call him the hot dog.
Hot dog. This is a hot dog Morotai. It's the only way we can get him to breathe this in. He's got to have a nebulizer every 8 hours to try and remove the water off his lungs. And he doesn't quite understand, just lie there and breathe it in. So these are the drastic measures we have to take, wrapping him in towel. We were just putting his life jacket on. It worked once, and then he realised he could walk around with his life jacket on, which I guess is a bonus because he should probably be in it more. This has got to go on for 20 minutes. It's been going for about 2. He's hiding.
He can put his head in.
He's helping you, Morotai. Okay, wish us luck, everyone.
5 minutes one side, 5 minutes on the other. I think he just wanted attention. I thought this cat loves attention. Don't you? Hey?
So when we were anchored out at Espiritu Santo, we had some awesome people that live in La Paz come out on their jet ski and say hi, and invited us to go surfing over on the west side of Baja. After we thought it was okay to leave Morotai as he was healing from his incident in the water, we got up real early because you have to get to the surf really early because the wind picks up and then it goes pretty bad. So we're up around 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, and we're in the car around 5, and we headed off to the other side of Baja.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number 1. You gotta slow down, look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going.
Also, thanks so much, Mike, for giving me one of your boards as a birthday present. This is going to be a really fun board as we journey further down the coast of Mexico.
Didn't take that beanie off, did you?
Think I'm gonna wear this out.
When you will come my way, when you will come my way, I risk my heart each day for you to come my way. Love comes in many ways. Without you, the sky is gray. You move with different cadence, so smooth, your mystical fragrance. My love will never be faded. For centuries I'll be waiting. When you will come my way. When you will come my way, to know, I want to know. When you will come my way, when you will come my way.
It was fun. It was freezing. There was a Red Sea, so there was a bit of seaweed and it was pretty murky, but it was fun.
On our way back, Mike showed us this cool little spot and we got some burritos and some raw honey and headed back to the boat. Thanks again, Mike.
So we came into La Paz to stock up on some more food, and we didn't know, but it was actually Carnival. So the first night of the parade, the Carnival goes on for 3 nights. The first night we tried to go in and we only saw the end of it. We were racing through the crowd trying to catch up, but we didn't really catch up.
Con nosotros ante ustedes, odiosas del espectáculo.
So then we tried again the second night. So we actually also met up with Becca and Zach of Tally Tribe. They have a YouTube channel, they're pretty cool, they're from the UK. And anyway, we met them all the way back a couple of years ago in Annapolis, and they're here now. So we went over and watched the Carnival with them. Floats with people dancing and stuff, and it was pretty cool to see. That was the Carnival in La Paz.
We had a problem with the Watermaker. It's not so much a problem with the Watermaker itself, but with the membranes that are housed inside the Watermaker housings. So what's actually happening is our Watermaker is meant to produce about 40 gallons per hour, and we're producing about 25, so a little bit over half. In a perfect world, we'd like to get that right up near 40, because we don't have to run the power as long and get them working the way they should be. I think the problem is we hauled out thinking we'd be back in the water sooner than later, which we all know we're out longer than we thought, and the membranes were pickled in a solution called sodium metabisulfate. Now, I think you're only meant to really do it for a year and then maybe re-pickle. We didn't, so it was probably pickled for about 16 months. So what we're going to try and do, I just went and priced new membranes, and they were like 500 US a membrane because we're in Mexico. They're probably a little bit cheaper in the States, maybe about 300 US, but with taxes and however it all works down here, it gets quite expensive. It'd be $1,000 US to replace them down here, the membranes. But they're working, and if we can just get them up a little bit more, they're at maybe 35 would be great. We'll see how we go. So what I've done, I've gone over, I found the Watermaker store here in La Paz for 928 pesos. He's given me 2 cleaning solutions, 2 different types to run through. So it's about 100 grams in each one, mixed with 15 litres of water. I've sort of disconnected the Watermaker inside so it doesn't take water from the ocean, takes it from the bucket, which is going to be here, and then pretty much circulate around, and the return line that usually goes out the side of the boat I've put back into the bucket. So we're going to do 100 grams of this mixed in here with about 15 litres of water, circulating for about 15 minutes. And we've got 2 different formulas. Start with number 1 formula and then do number 2 formula, and then let the system have a good flush out with fresh water, and then we're going to turn it back on and see if we can increase that volume from 25 gallons or 23 to 25. I think we started at 23 and it's gone up to 25, so it's gotten a little bit better since we've been using it, but we're going to see if we can boost it up. Alright, so solution number 1 is going to take 100 grams of this. I'm going to pour that into there, give that a mix up, and we'll start the Watermaker only with the low pressure pump. So Watermaker has a high and a low pressure pump. We're going to put the low pressure pump on so it's just circulating around inside the membranes. So yeah, we'll turn the Watermaker on, get it circulating, 15 minutes with each solution. I'm not sure what these were. I did see the container he got them out of, and it was just like a descaler Watermaker membrane cleaner. Never had to use that before. So with our first Watermaker, which was a Rainman, very similar to the Seawater Pro, We didn't really flush like a pickling solution through that, but our first Watermaker, we got, I don't know, maybe 7 years out of that, out of the membranes, and they were pretty sad at the end, but they were still producing water. This one, we've only 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
6 months. So 6 months as opposed to 8 years, so we're going to try and get a little bit more longer life out of these, but yeah, that's where we're at. Give this a stir up, I'll get in there and get it going and show you what's going on. It'll be interesting to see our clean water, if it turns dirty or not. Alright guys, so this is our little Seawater Pro setup. They're pretty simple, I'm pretty happy with it so far. There was just maybe a few little components I changed. I actually had plastic non-return valves which actually broke on me. I don't know if it was my fault or just being plastic, but as you know, I'm not a big fan of plastic. But I changed them anyway for Groco non-return valves, so they're bronze and they should last a long time. Apart from that, there was just one little fitting which I showed you guys that broke again. It was a plastic fitting behind the Watermaker itself. But apart from that, there's not much to it. It's a very simple setup, the Seawater Pro, much like Rain Man one we had on the first boat. So we'll see how we go in the test of time and let you know what we think, but so far so good. This is not a Seawater Pro issue, this is obviously us leaving our membrane sitting pickled for so long. So all I've done is I've disconnected our boost pump, which is this here. This is usually under the floor and it takes water from the outside of the boat, runs it in through here, and then this line here just returns outside. So I've just disconnected this. This is our return to the ocean line, which now goes into the bucket, and I'm sucking straight from the bucket instead of seawater. So I've just created a loop in the system. I'm only running the low pressure pump, and I've removed the filters here. Water's just circulating through this whole system, and so far it's not too bad, but there is little flaky white bits floating around, some sort of calcium buildup or whatever it is. But now we've got like a sedimenty sort of something forming on top there. It's really strange, but it's definitely something's come off the membranes there. Took a little bit, it's been about 5 minutes in I suppose, and then it started getting this stuff coming out of it.
3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's definitely something has come off the top there. The first solution's done, so I did 15 minutes on that, circulated it through. I didn't show you guys the water, but it was not too bad. Like, it wasn't like it was full of calcium and or whatever would build up in there. It was a little bit of foamy sort of stuff on top of the water, which may have been something that broke down off the membranes. But last solution, we're under number 2 now, so we're going to do the same deal. About 15 litres of water. Put that in. And we'll start the circulation for another 15 minutes. Dump that out, and then we'll circulate some fresh water through it, connect it back up to seawater, and just let it run for a while. So we're not going to press any of this cleaning solution into our membranes and drink that. We don't want to do that. The Watermaker has had its double flush now with the solutions that I picked up from the Watermaker shop. Did it make a difference? Well, when we first put the Watermaker back on after it sat there for a year and a half, we were running at about 22 gallons per hour. It's sort of increased to around 25, I suppose. Now after the flush, we are up around 25 to 30, so sort of fluctuating around the 25 to 30 mark. So did it make a big difference? No. Did it make a difference? Yes. We still got maybe up to 5 gallons an hour more, but who knows? It's had its clean, it might even get a little bit better, or it may just stay around that 30 gallons per hour. As a whole, it's not too bad. It's still producing a fair amount of water. Of course, we'd like to get 40, but hey. So yeah, it was a bit of a success. We got a little bit more out of it, and time will tell if it gets any more increase. Now, as for this bloody anchorage, guys, where I'm making this water, it is amazing. It is full of life. For an anchorage that is opposite small town, La Paz. Every morning we wake up here, we get greeted by the local whales that come in and hang around and swim around the boats. They tend to hang around nearly all day. Pods of dolphins everywhere. It's crazy. For being in an anchorage so close to town, it's pretty cool. Surrounded by marine life, making water and making a little bit more. We tried out our Lumitech lights in the night and it lit up beautifully.
So Moritai's okay, for all of you wondering. He doesn't wanna, oh, don't go back overboard. Oh, likes to sit on the edge still. It's good to know he's not traumatized. Anyway, that's the end of this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to press that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss when a new video comes out. See you later.